This is called the generation gap.
My generation, baby.
Hello everyone, this is Chase doing a quick intro before we get into today's episode. I've been having real internet trouble. I don't know about anyone else out there, but it is an issue at my house in LA. So just letting you know because there are a few Wi-Fi glitches, but other than that, the sound is okay on my end. This episode, we briefly discuss what I thought about some classic movies I watched this week in quarantine. John tells us about the classic movie he was in called Highball in the 90s, although he doesn't refer to it as a classic. I think it's a must-see. You can rent it on Amazon. Around 25 minutes in, we read an article about how well suited Gen X is for the pandemic. We tend to read a lot of those types of articles. I only tell you this because John's reaction to the article is pretty funny. It had me laughing out loud while I was editing this episode. Thank you to one of our lovely patrons, Scott, for sending us the article. Would you look at that segue? If you'd like to support our podcast, please head over to patreon.com/generationgab to check out the perks we offer you for supporting our podcast. We are so grateful for everyone so far who has donated to our show. It really means a lot to us. So without further ado, enjoy episode 42, it rhymed, of Generation Gab.
My generation, baby.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Generation Gab. My name is John Lehr, and I'm a Gen X fun dad.
And my name's Chase O'Donnell, and I'm a semi-recent grad millennial.
As per usual, we are coming to you live on Instagram as well.
That's right.
That's right. And Chase and I are sequestered from each other because of I don't need to tell anybody listening to this is it possible that anybody out there doesn't know that there's a pandemic? Do you think that's possible?
Yes. I think that there could have been people on a hike on the Pacific Coast Trail that was doing a 6-month trek and isn't seeing anyone in society and have no idea what's going on.
Wow, Chase, that's quite a picture you just painted us.
Thank you.
Wow, but you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
There could be, or a Japanese soldier from World War II who doesn't know the war. You know, those stories where Japanese soldiers
they didn't believe it was over.
Right.
They were just. Mm-hmm.
We did an episode of Quick Draw where a guy played a runaway slave, and he didn't know that slavery had been banished, and he'd been running away, and he was like, "Wait, what?" And he was outside.
I remember that.
And he was outside a town that was made up of freed slaves, and so he was sneaking in at night, but he didn't know that any of them were black. And anyway, he was such a funny guy. Oh my God, that actor!
I remember that.
That actor was so funny. Those were great. Because Nicodemus was an actual town in Kansas made up of free slaves, and of course,
no way.
Yeah, that's a true thing. And in history, of course, it was they gave them the worst land, and they screwed them over, of course. But in Quick Draw, they'd gotten the worst of the worst, but they'd made it into this utopic thing where everybody was egalitarian. And oh God, there were some amazing actors.
John, I watched a couple classics, if you will, this week.
Oh, a lot of people have been doing that. I've noticed that. A lot of people have been watching old TV shows.
Well, I watched Pretty Woman.
Had you ever seen it before?
No.
You're kidding.
Do you consider that a classic?
Well, I guess so. Yeah. Now, to you, it must be. What did you think?
I gotta tell you, John, I was a little disappointed.
Wow, it doesn't hold up.
It was like this guy sees this prostitute and he's not like, oh, wow, she's
the most gorgeous woman I've ever seen. I'm in love with her. He pays for her to
Right.
spend the night and then like continues to just like pay for her to be his prostitute. And there's no real love story. It's just kind of gross.
Yes.
And like the people at the hotel are like, wow, look at her. She's changed so much. He just gave her $3,000 to go shopping.
Yes.
And like, there's no empowerment.
No.
It's like kind of gross.
Yes. Now that I can see that now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm thinking back to the movie. But she was really hot. Let's not forget that part.
Mean, let's talk about like what a outstanding breakout role for her.
Jesus.
I mean,
yeah.
Do you know it was supposed to be the girl Molly Ringwald or something?
You're kidding.
16 Candles. It was supposed to be her.
You are kidding me. Wow.
She turned it down.
She turned it. Well, you know what? I can see why after you just described it. Maybe Molly Ringwald, because she's kind of cool. Didn't Molly Ringwald move to France or something, and she gave up her career and married some French dude? And I don't know. I imagine her as being kind of cool. But I met Ali Sheedy. I was in a movie with Ali Sheedy.
Who's Ali Sheedy?
Oh my God, Chase! She's from the Brat Pack too. Molly Ringwald, Ali Sheedy. Ali Sheedy was in St. Elmo's Fire. She was in Breakfast Club. She was in, I don't know, other stuff. She was in the one with the robot or War Games. I can't remember. Anyway, she's been in a lot of that crap. She's like, just think of Molly Ringwald, but with darker hair.
Ali Sheedy.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of stuff.
She doesn't even come up on Google.
What? That's impossible. You didn't hit return or something.
I don't think I spelled it right.
Yeah.
How do you spell Ali Sheedy?
Ally, I think. I don't think it's Ali if you did that.
Oh, Sheedy. Okay. I spelled it way wrong.
Anyway, I was in a movie with her. And
John.
Yeah, a very small movie, but I had a scene with her. She played herself.
Wow.
Ali Sheedy, the superstar, showed up at a party, and I was at the party. In that same movie, Chase, I had a kissing scene with Radon Chong, Tommy Chong's daughter.
Holy smokes, John.
Who was a sex symbol. This was, a little later, but she was gorgeous. I mean, just gorgeous, and I had to kiss her. I mean, it was in the script.
You had to.
I had to.
Wow. What a week for you. That was the same week?
Yeah, it was the same week. Now, Ali Sheedy brought her kid with her to the set, and he grabbed a stick before we all got in the car, because we were in Brooklyn, and we all were living in Manhattan, but we were shooting in Brooklyn, and I was taking the train, but Ali Sheedy said, "Do you want to get in the car? You want to ride?" And I was like, "Okay." I mean, I'm going to be with Ali Sheedy. And also in the car, who jumped into the car at the last minute was, who are those magicians where one talks and one doesn't?
Ron and,
Ron? I don't think Ron is right. Ron? That's not...
Who are the guys with the tigers?
No, those guys. No. I'm talking about the magicians where one never says a word and one says, it's not Shields and Yarnell.
Oh, Weezer and Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller. Weezer. Yeah. And I'm going to Shields and Yarnell. You probably don't know who that is, do you?
No.
Shields and Yarnell were I think they were a couple. They were male, female, and they did mime, and they were like on the Tonight Show. Only back in the 70s could a mime husband-wife team be, make a living.
That's true.
So Penn, or was it Teller? It was Penn. It was Penn, because he's the one who talks. He was in the movie also. He had a small part. So he got in the car with me. So I'm in the car with Ali Sheedy, Ali Sheedy's kid with a stick, and Penn from Penn and Teller. And we're all in this car together. And the kid has a stick, and Ali is in the front seat with the driver, and me and Penn are on either side of the kid with the stick. And the kid's taking this stick, and he's just whacking it all over the place. And I don't really care. But Penn is really freaked out. He's like, this kid's going to poke my eye out. And Ali was just like, oh, come on. He's been cooped up. Let him have his stick. but he had a stick in the car all the way back to Manhattan. So that's my Ali Sheedy
How
story.
funny.
Mhm.
What's this movie called, and where can I watch it?
It's called Highball, and it's directed by Noah Baumbach, although he took his name off of it. So that should tell you something.
That's
I
not
have
good.
not watched it forever. I never got paid for it.
What?
Yeah, never got a penny.
Wow.
I don't know, but it wasn't Noah's fault, by the way. It was the producer ripped us all off and went to Hawaii. I heard. Anyway, where
Well,
could
I'm
you see
looking
it?
up here.
I don't know.
Highball. I'm gonna put that on my list of classics to watch.
Is it? Can you watch it? I don't know if it's out there anywhere. If you can't find it, let me know. I think I probably have a VHS of it. I probably don't even have a DVD.
Oh, yeah. Would it even be online?
My daughter
my
recently, speaking of our generation gap, my daughter recently found all of my acting VHS tapes. You know, when you did back when I was acting, you know, in younger days, you got a VHS of your footage, you know, of your reel. You know, if you did an episode of Friends, you'd get a VHS. So you saved all that stuff because then when you took it to an editor to make your acting reel, you had to give them all these tapes, right? So I have this whole window seat in our house is filled with VHS tapes. And my daughter's like, "What are these, Dad? They're in the way. I want to use this." And I turned to her and I looked her right in the eye. I said, "That is my life's work. Those stupid tapes. That's the only thing I've brought to this planet is a bunch
John,
of video
this is
tapes."
why you need. Hi, Hudson.
Hudson just walked in, everybody. Say hi.
Hello.
Now,
Hello.
Chase says hi.
Hello. This is, though, John, why you need AV Gear Guy to turn all your VHS tapes into things that could be on the computer.
That is exactly right. Hudson,
I just
well
had to
done,
throw that
Chase. Well done. Product placement. Will you get Earl and bring him back in here? Because the guys are downstairs doing the floors. No, Diesel. You stay. Oh, God, Chase, I can't take it anymore. I need out of this pandemic has got to end. I mean, seriously. Oh.
I thought we could do, I mean, we've been talking about this, so I don't know if it'll be interesting or not, but like a day in your life and a day in my life.
It's hell. It is hell. I mean, we're so cooped up together. It's 4 of us with 2 dogs. I know we live in a big house, but somehow it's just closed in on me. And like I'm sequestered to my own bedroom. And Hudson, close the door. I've got both dogs because Jennifer's decided to have the floors done, which I don't see how you do that in a pandemic. 2 guys have showed up to sand and stain our floors, and we're all locked up. And I'm like, doesn't this make the whole thing pointless? Like now these guys, I mean, what the fuck? So these guys are doing our floors. We're all, you know, on top of each other. My kids are incapable of doing anything. If they want like breakfast, Dad, I need a glass of water. I'm like, okay, well, there's some downstairs. No, I need you to bring it to me. I'm like,
oh no,
I'm busting my ass. I bring my son bagels this morning. That's true. Hudson says you could just say no, but I fold. Yeah, and then Jules, I bring Hudson a bagel. Hudson likes butter on his bagel. I bring him butter. He says too much butter and is not into a bagel. I bring Jules likes cheese, cream cheese on her bagel. I bring her bagel and she says it's not enough cream cheese and she doesn't eat it. So neither of them, I cook 2 bagels, slice them, cook them, prep them. Neither of them eat them. And now they're both hungry. Jennifer sleeps till noon every day, so she's not even up yet. You're not hungry? Okay.
Oh my gosh, this sounds like no fun.
No, it sounds like no fun.
It sounds like you need to be getting paid for this.
Yes. And then and it's just everything's closed in. I just feel like I'm about to go crazy. And now my beard's gotten long enough where it's itching on the neck down here.
Well, you could shave.
I don't know. Now at this point, it's like a bigger deal. You don't know because you don't shave, but my hairs are coarse because I'm an old man. I think I talked about this with you once. Did I? Did I talk about the time I pulled a nose hair out? Okay.
Oh, God, no.
All right. As men get older, their nose hairs and ear hairs grow thicker, like really thick, like the gauge on like I could pull a truck with a ear hair. If you tied one of my ear hairs to a truck, it's not every ear hair, but every now and then one comes out where I'm like, holy shit. Like I pull it out and I'm like, my God, it's like thicker. It's like, it's amazing. And my my nose hair, there was a nose hair sticking out of my nose and I grabbed it and yanked it out. It was super long. It went up into my nasal cavity. And I think I gave myself a partial lobotomy. I pulled out a little piece of my brain. Okay, honey, you're going to feedback. Hudson's listening to us on.
I keep getting notifications that Eva Longoria is going live. Would she be someone we could get on?
Yes. Yes, we could get Eva. I know Eva. You know Eva. Know. We were in a pilot with Eva. We've worked with Eva.
Do you think she would do that with us?
Yes. Yes. We got to ask her.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that contact we have.
Now we need to do a test first, everybody. We're I know we've announced that we're having guests and then we never do. The reason is because the pandemic came along and separated the two of us, and we're trying to figure out a way to now bring somebody in. Chase thinks the way to do it is through Skype.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd actually be able to go. I don't know if 3 people are allowed to go live on Insta.
Oh, well, that part, yeah. Well, that the Insta is secondary, I think, to the Skype, though, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
but yes, we need to figure out. So we're going to do a test, and I believe our first person is going to be Chase's dad, right? We just decided. Is it all right if I tease that?
Oh, of course, because he's a patron, and he earned his way onto the show.
Yes, he did.
It's not nepotism.
No, he earned it. But we'd have him on anyway because he's your dad. And he's a cool guy. Because we had a patron Zoom call with all of our patrons. And that was so fun. That was so fun. Now, we've also recently asked our patrons to help us out because we think we're now ready to start pushing this show out further. And so we're looking for recommendations how to spend a little bit of money, like maybe around, $40 or $50 a month. Do we buy Facebook ads? What do we do? What do we do? If you have any suggestions, let us know because we don't know.
I watched Taxi Driver.
Oh, you looking at me? You're looking at me.
I didn't know that's where that was from.
Isn't it great? Does it hold up?
Yeah, well, it holds up because the cinematography was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It was like shot really like artsy.
Yeah. Center
like ahead
axis.
Of its time.
Yeah. That's right. It was Scorsese, right? I think it's Scorsese. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
Okay. I get why he's like famous then.
Yeah.
But it was shot really well. And then how cute was he? What's his name?
Robert De Niro.
How cute was Robert De Niro?
Yeah, handsome guy.
What a catch. I didn't know that.
Yeah, now, of all the characters for you to find attractive, the one where he plays the taxi driver who's a murderous psychopath, that says a lot about you. So you're into the bad boys. You like bad boys.
I actually stopped watching 45 minutes till the end, so I didn't see him kill anybody if he does.
Okay. Oh God,
was that a spoiler?
you gotta watch all the way to the end. Wait.
I got tired.
Oh, Chase. Oh my God, I can't believe you gotta watch to the end of Taxi Driver for sure.
Why? It gets better?
Yes. Wait, you didn't like it? It was boring?
I just thought it was artsy. I just thought it was like, oh, this is pretty to watch, but like the storyline,
not good.
I didn't think it was going anywhere.
Well, no, Scorsese's movies don't really go anywhere. I mean, they do in spurts. Like, did you see The Irishman? The latest one? Oh, boy. Talk about not going anywhere. Jesus. You can watch the grass grow on that one. And I saw it in a premiere, and Scorsese and De Niro spoke before. And the only thing slower than the movie was their talk before the movie. Oh my God.
How funny.
Oh, it was like 2 hours of talking before the movie. And then the movie's like 3 hours. It was like an 8-hour night. Getting there, parking, watching, going home. I was like ready to kill myself.
Well, so I guess I've done a little bit of now watching classics. And have you watched Miss Congeniality yet?
No, I haven't. I've been trying to get my sister. Oh my God, that's Freudian. I've been trying to get my daughter to watch. My wife calls her her sister. She goes, "Hey, sister." That's what she calls Jules. So
That's
I don't.
sweet.
But yeah, I and Jules won't watch it. Jules doesn't want to watch it. My daughter doesn't really like movies. She likes Instagram, she likes TikTok, and she likes TV shows, mainly Gossip Girl.
Gossip Girl is back?
No, reruns. And she watches what's the mother-daughter one where they're like friends, they're not a mother. Gilmore Girls. Oh, now what do you think of that show, Chase?
John, I was on it, season 1 to the last episode.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, it's my favorite fun fact because my mom was the choreographer for the show.
What?
So you know how Miss Patty is the dance teacher in the town? I don't know if you know that.
No.
But there's a town dance studio. So anytime there's a dance show or like dance practice,
you're in it?
I'm there.
Oh my God. Okay, now that just changed my opinion of the show. I've only walked by as my daughter's watching bits and pieces of it, and I haven't caught any of the dance stuff. So all I hear is the kind of snarky, rapid-fire dialogue between the mother and the daughter. You know?
Well, have you seen? It's the same show creator as Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And have you seen that show?
No, same thing.
And Mrs. Maisel's even better, but the conversation is it's so fast.
Oh my
God.
Style. I found it exhausting and uninteresting. After one scene, I'm like, oh my God, I hate these characters. I hate them. They're so sure of themselves and they're so taken with themselves. They're so smart and look how smart they are. And oh, the daughter's so smart. And oh, the mother's so smart. And I'm like, shut up. They're like the type of people that would take over a dinner party.
You know, Melissa McCarthy's in it.
Okay, another read. I am not a Melissa McCarthy fan.
Oh,
I'm not.
Okay.
Why
not?
Did you see Ghostbusters?
No.
The female version? Okay, I want you to see.
Okay.
I dare anybody to see the female version of Ghostbusters and that puppet show she did, that puppet movie where she's a detective with a puppet. You know what I'm talking about? It was in the theaters for like 5. I dare anybody to watch both of those movies and still be a Melissa McCarthy fan. I dare you.
But she did so well in Bridesmaids.
That's true. She was great in that. They all were.
So does that go out the window?
Yes.
Now that
that's how bad the other two are. Let me just say, the only scene that even gets a minor laugh in the puppet one is one of the puppets comes all over everybody. Joel McHale, who I'm a big fan of, is in it, and he's like got cum dripping from his hair. I'm not kidding.
Okay, I guess I'm dared to watch them, so I will.
Yeah, you gotta watch them. Maybe
I'll
I'm
let
wrong.
You know
Somebody's saying, I liked both of them. All right, what
Victor.
do I know? What do I know? Victor, I'm sorry. Listen, I don't want to take anybody's taste away.
But yeah, Gilmore Girls holds a special place in my heart because of that. But it's not like I only watched the episodes I was in.
It's like a speed through. It's like actors doing a speed through of their lines. You notice actors know what that is. Like you do everybody does their lines super fast, a speed through. You've ever been in a play where the director's like, let's do a speed through. And everybody just does their lines.
Just like,
yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. I never thought of it like that.
Oh, my God.
I just thought of it as a fun style.
It's fun. The first scene, I thought, oh, that's fun. And then the second scene, I was like, I'm over it. Thank you. They're just so taken with themselves. That's the thing. I can't stand that when people are too precious.
Oh, God, me neither. Tell me about it.
All right. Now, Chase, we had some things we were going to talk about today. We always have things lined up, and then we never get to them. Now, you had a top 10 thing that I was curious about. You mentioned this in the production meeting.
Yeah, in the production meeting, we went over this. It is an article that was sent to us by Scott, one of our patrons.
My son, I'm recording a podcast. My son is coming in here, taking my computer cable, and because he needs it. Now, you see what I'm saying, Chase? I'm going crazy. I just bought like 6 computer cables, and they're all gone. Where are they? Oh, not long ago, like this month. No, like they were new. I did.
Okay, this is why this article is going to be very, very relevant. It's the top 10 skills Gen Xers have developed to survive life during the COVID-19 pandemic. And tell me if this is true. Have you developed any of these skills?
Okay, shoot.
The first one being self-reliance.
Self-reliance. What does that mean?
It says, Mom gave us a house key and limited directions. Go home after school, let yourself in, lock the door behind you, and don't let anyone in. Make yourself a snack, and I'll be home later.
Yeah, latchkey kids. Make a snack. Hell no. I had to make dinner and brush my teeth and do my homework and put myself snack. My mom came home at like 7, and then she went right to work typing papers to make extra money.
Well, it said that the latchkey kid mentality taught you how to take care of and entertain yourself.
Oh, okay. All right. I guess that's true. I don't have any time alone, so I don't have any way to test that now.
Yeah, I don't know how that. Yeah, exactly.
Maybe I should be given a hotel room for a week to by myself, and then come back to you with information about that.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be an assignment.
Well, I think you'd be very good at entertaining yourself. You don't need people to tell you what to be doing. Unfortunately, you have to be the one to entertain people right now.
I would. Now the dogs are going, I want to kill myself. Now I this is what I would do. If I was given time alone, I would just sit there and stare at the wall and do nothing for as long. I wouldn't have to do anything. I'd be so happy just for things to be quiet. And Diesel, for God's sake, please.
John is really going through it.
I'm losing it.
Here's the second thing.
Okay.
Time management. Dad was more than happy to let us go into town alone on Saturday as long as we were home by an agreed upon hour. Thanks to his largesse, we learned how to take public transit to the drive bars downtown on the weekends and still not flunk out of school. With schools physically closed and assignments coming in through Google Classroom, it's now our kids' responsibility to complete their work without any real teacher supervision and plenty of time to slack off.
Well, I was in Kansas City. They tore up all the trolley cars in the 30s, so there was absolutely no public transit. But we were allowed to do basically anything. I remember going, my brother and I, it was pouring rain. We went to the sewers and got in inner tubes and floated down the rushing water going down the drainage ditches, which was super dangerous.
Repeat that for me.
Okay. So when it rained, there were these open trenches, kind of like the LA River, like the.
Yeah, you did that, John?
Yes. Did you do it?
No, we had deputy officers come into our schools from the age I was like 5 years old telling us that's the most dangerous thing you could ever do and don't do it.
Fun as shit. And you would go through tunnels and go. It was crazy.
I can't believe.
And this is not in LA. This is in Kansas with thunderstorms. I mean, and we'd be in these tubes.
That is so dangerous. You are so lucky you survived.
Well, we did. We survived.
That is insane. Okay.
And then when I was older, when I was like, I don't know, 11 or 12, I wanted to jump one of them, like a la Evel Knievel on my bike, but I wimped out.
This is where Hudson gets it.
Except he's good. He has talent. That's where we separate. We both have the risk-taking mentality, but he can actually pull it off.
Okay, so the third trait is workplace flexibility. You really liked the job at the video rental store until you got fired for not working during Christmas break and instead going with your family to Club Med. But it all worked out great. Sam Goody hired you for less pay but much better hours. Adapting to new gigs has always been easy for you, so navigating a new routine while you work from home is no problem.
Huh. I don't understand. Who is this person? Who's the writer?
Okay. His name is Mark Bernard Ackerman. I don't know, John.
All right.
This
Mark
isn't
Bernard
what I thought.
Ackerman comes from money. Club Med? Are you kidding me? We went to the Ozark. We went to Silver Dollar City for our vacation. Club Med.
What's Club Med?
Club Med is basically a hotel room that everybody has sex in, spread out over an island. So it's basically a cum-crusted resort. And I'm not kidding. Club Med is just...
Is it still around?
I don't know. Sandals. I know Sandals is around. Same sort of thing.
I know Sandals.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you can bring your kids, meaning your kids go off and do stuff so you can have sex anywhere you want.
The name Club Med, I thought it was like a doctor's office.
Oh, right. Like Med. Interesting. No, it's Mediterranean, like Mediterranean Club.
Okay.
But it's just people just going to have sex everywhere. And it's disgusting. It's like basically a Las Vegas hotel, but on a beach.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Mm-mm.
But hey, Ackerman did. Who's the writer? Mark Bernard.
Well,
Ackerman.
his parents did. And he
parents
worked at the
did.
video store, but didn't work on Christmas. Let me tell you something.
I bet it was Blockbuster.
Yeah, and if you work in a video, if you have a job and they're having you work on Christmas, you work on Christmas. You don't just don't show up. What an ass.
One time I had a job and I had a trip to Paris and I couldn't get anyone to cover for me, but I still went to Paris because I'm sorry. When do you get to go to Paris?
I'm disappointed in you, Chase. You should have gotten your shift covered.
Listen, I tried.
I worked at How hard did you try? Who? Did you pay? Did you offer them something? Like, hey, I'll bring you back something from Paris if you cover my shift?
No.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you, I quit the job while I was in Paris because it caused me so much anxiety and stress that I couldn't get anyone to cover. I emailed while I was in Paris.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't do it. I was crying every night for a couple of nights.
What was the job?
It was at a cabaret club.
Oh, right. You've mentioned that before. What did you do at a cabaret club?
I hosted. I was like the person that took people to their seats. What? And John, I was getting $9 an hour. This is in New York City, 2017. Like, that's way below minimum wage. I was not making enough to not go to Paris.
Yeah, screw that. I hear you on that. Screw
It was
that.
really not enough bang for my buck.
Goodbye. Au revoir.
Au revoir. Okay. Efficiency. We've always figured out ways to get by when the pressure's on. Remember bringing your Macintosh Classic to a 24-hour Perkins restaurant? What are these names? Ordering the bottomless pot of coffee and stopping by the computer lab to print your term paper on the way into class? That's why you were the first one on the block when COVID-19 hit to set up an Amazon Fresh account. Order the essentials and pick delivery dates that maximize the shelf life of perishables.
This is a very... who's this writer again?
Ackerman. Wait.
Mr. Ackerman.
Mark Bernard Ackerman.
Mark Bernard Ackerman. I don't know what kind of Gen X life he had growing up, but I didn't have a Macintosh laptop that I took to Perkins. I worked at Perkins as a busboy, dude. This guy's like a silver spoon Gen Xer. He's a character from Bright Lights Big City for you Gen Xers out there. Bright Lights Big City was a book. I've talked about it before. It's kind of
yeah, that's right.
Anyway, they were all doing cocaine.
I also have never heard of Perkins.
Oh my God, Perkins was like an upscale Denny's, and it had pies. I believe Perkins had pies.
Hudson is telling people to go watch his podcast instead of ours.
My son. You see what I mean? They don't even care.
Should I just skip ahead?
Yeah, skip ahead. We're at 35 minutes, and we usually try to wrap it up between 35 and 40, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the last two on this list.
Okay.
9 is downward mobility. You fondly remember the smell of the leather in your grandfather's Mercedes-Benz on the way to his summer home on the Cape.
What? Leather
Is Ackerman just too
Mercedes-Benz.
rich?
This guy is a rich kid who thinks everybody was rich. Don't say
The smell of
you.
on the way to the Cape, like we all have a home in the Cape.
What the fuck is this guy? Where did this come from? I'm trying to picture this guy who wrote this.
Let me pull up a picture of
I don't
him.
think he's even, I bet he's not even a millennial, a true millennial.
He's a Gen Xer.
I mean, a Gen Xer. I bet he's not even a true Xer. It sounds like somebody pretending to be a Gen Xer.
When I search Mark Bernard Ackerman,
Nothing
the
comes
only thing comes up is that he's a dentist,
Oh,
and he has a book on enhancement orthodontics theory
Okay.
and practice.
Okay, now this makes sense. So he's a dentist who occasionally submits his writings, and then when he gets it published, he sends the link out to all of his family. Hey, I'm in another. Do you have
I'm
people like
in
that in your
Boston
family?
Magazine.
You're like, I got into another editorial, and you're like, oh boy.
It's just
Okay.
my sister, but it's legit when she does.
Well, yeah, but I get it from like my whatever.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, he's a dentist.
Okay, now
What does he know?
now I'm more acceptable. He should mention that he's a dentist in his byline when he's writing, because then we'll give him a little bit more slack.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, how out of a scale from 1 to 10, what do you rate that article?
0. That's a 0. Less
Oh,
than
that was a
0.
0.
There we go. There's a Gen X reference. It's less than 0. Take that, Ackerman.
Well, thank you, everybody. John, what are you doing this weekend?
I don't know. I've just got to go find a place to be by myself. I need 5 minutes. Honestly, I haven't even been able to take a poo by myself. I mean, nothing, Chase. I'm going to kill myself.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but
I got to get out of here. I got to get out of this. I got to get a face mask on and get the hell. I'm going to go to Rite Aid and then just leave and never come back.
yeah, just start walking the dog and keep going.
No dogs either. Just me. I just want me.
Okay, well, you let
And
me
what
know next week. We'll know if that happens.
All right. What about you, Chase?
Um,
Ooh, somebody says drive up to Big Bear. I'd like to do that.
Forever Featherin is one of our Patreons.
Yes.
What am I doing? Honestly, I don't know. I can't even.
Nobody knows.
It was a terrible question I asked.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Everybody just hang in there. Keep doing what they tell you to do. Don't listen to the people saying don't do what they tell you to do. For all of us, just do what they tell you to do for now. What's so wrong with living in a totalitarian state, Chase? Huh?
I don't know.
Let's just live in it for a little longer, and then we can all go back to work.
I agree.
Yeah. All right.
Listen to John.
Put me in charge.
Thank you, everybody, on Instagram Live, and thank you, everybody, listening on whatever podcast app you're listening to us on.
We're on them all.
On them all.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
My generation, baby.